The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Good morning, class, and welcome back to the number one Contender podcast, the show where your favorite nerds talk all things movie trivia schmodown. I am your host, Jarod, the Dark Jedi Bachman Stubbs, and joining me, as always, is Black Leader Travis Grossman.
Odds out of 10 that this explodes.
2-1.
1-2.
Odds out of 10, 2-1.
See, I was right.
So you're saying it's like 50-50.
Yeah.
So 5. You should have said a 5.
Yeah, I know.
He said, no, you didn't. I didn't know either. Don't act like you knew. I don't know fractions.
Lexi's here.
Fractions aren't real.
Neither's money.
We made numbers up.
Math is fake. It's magic.
Math is hard letters.
Yeah.
Math is spicy letters.
I thought that was cursive.
I don't think Greek food is that spicy.
What?
You use Greek letters.
Oh my! My headache from earlier is coming back. Like,
You're welcome.
I didn't mean for that to be like a reaction to you. No, it just started to hurt again from earlier.
Jared.
Also, Desmond is here.
Damon,
If you know who Desmond is.
Yes.
that headache was definitely a reaction to what I said.
No,
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to talk about it on Campus Life in like 2 weeks from now when I tell the story about the friggin' lunatic I had in the bar tonight. But I already had a headache earlier that day, and then I had to get into a screaming match with this jackass. So my head was just pounding for the entirety of my shift, and it had finally gone away. And then it was like literally in sync with you saying the Greek thing that my head just went like straight to shooting daggers again. Will you shut the fuck up?
I'm sorry.
You gotta be mean back to me when I say shit like that. I don't
He's
know.
mean to me, everyone.
That's a lie. That is a lie. I am the subject of constant abuse. I'm holding Desmond for the show now.
No. Talk about Schmodown. Give me my son.
Who's your favorite faction? That's right, corruption.
No.
It
Dragons.
was dungeon because of dragons. Like the game. You just threw him at me and I wasn't even looking.
I mean, going off of Desmond's energy, he probably would be a quirky Mercs kind of guy.
Absolutely.
But like with your bit, dungeon works as well.
Anyway.
So
Both of them played. One of them was last week for that live event that we knew about.
And now that we finally watched it, we're going to start with that. Also, I don't know about you, but I did not get a chance to watch the first matches of the First Class League. However, I've heard very good things about those matches, so I'm going to be checking them out soon. Hiccups. I'll be recapping them next week. So we're going to jump into the live event from last week, starting with Liz Shannon Miller of the Usual Suspects against John the Outlaw Roca, the Goat Law, if you will.
Worst match of the year so far. Absolutely. You know why?
Really?
Absolutely worst. There was a question about Assassin's Creed.
Oh, yeah.
It upset me greatly.
Okay, listen. I like the Outlaw. I'm a big fan of Roca. He might be my second or third favorite player in the entirety of the movie Trivia Schmodown. How'd you miss the Shark Tale question, John? That was a layup.
Did he not say Will Smith? Was that the one?
No, you got it. Remember, because they asked the question, you were like Shark Tale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, I was like, I don't mean this as like no disrespect to Lexi, but Lexi, who
Lexi got
outright
it.
says that she does not do movie trivia, I was like, you would have gotten that right.
I watched it with her, and she knew it. Like from across the room, heard him say, like heard the question and knew it. So
Hell yeah.
This is disappointing. But hey, he won. He won the TKO. It was. I mean, all jokes aside about the Assassin's Creed question.
it was a good match.
The Outlaw is back. I am so happy to see him playing. I love a T-Net mess still in my pocket. I love seeing him play a heel, like a straight up heel. None of the anti-hero stuff from last season. Not that was bad. Everybody is like cranking the heel up to 11. Even Alex Damon is becoming a little bit of a heel, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I think that if there's one thing to take away from this match, it is that
Roka showed up. I'm impressed.
Yes, Shannon Miller did well too.
Oh yeah,
it was just sometimes you just have you get a patch of questions that you just don't know. I'm hesitant to say it was even the challenge that threw her off. It
was a challenge.
Oh right, yeah.
The
Kung Fu Panda 2. No, I mean 3's thing. I don't think it was a challenge. I just think she got like a dealt a shit hand in round 3, which happens. We've seen it happen to Ben Bateman. We've seen it happen to Kalinowski. It happens to everybody. Eventually, you just hit a patch of questions that are just no good to you, and that's what we had here with Liz Shannon Miller. But I don't see her. I don't see her as any less of a player after that match at all.
Yeah, she did great. I mean, I was more focused on Roka this match because I wanted to see last season granted last season was last season.
Yeah.
But generally he was not all there as a player. I feel like he was off his game for most of the because of everything happening in the world. But like everyone that I've said that about, I think he's finally in it. Now that everything's back to pseudo normal with there's storylines again, and he gets to act while he plays, and they're used to the format now. So I think he's back in it for realsies.
I agree. I think this is some of the best Roka's character work has been in a hot minute too.
It's
not that it's ever been bad.
It doesn't feel as overdone.
I can everybody says Dan Murrell's the GOAT, and I don't think that's a wrong statement. But when it comes to character work, I think Roka might be the GOAT for that. Just the character of the Outlaw.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, I like KO more just because I like the sheep, and he's very consistent. He's never not ever since he became the killer. He's never really diverted from being a hero or a villain or whatever. He's always just kind of consistently been that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match. The trivia was good. Aside from that Shark Tale question, how'd you miss that, man? Yeah, Roka brought home a TKO for the Finstock Exchange, and the Exchange and the Usual Suspects are on friggin' fire so far this season. The Mercs are doing well too. Obviously, they had to come back from that -1, but
no longer number one.
They're
gonna have the belts back soon, so it's
they already have a belt in the faction with Demolanta.
They're gonna have 3 belts.
They might
by the end of the month.
Well, teams IG and singles are going somewhere else, but
I'm talking about teams.
I know. Mikey 3 belts.
They beat your boy. They beat your boy.
And my boy and his boy are coming back with a vengeance this season.
They beat your boy.
It's not going to happen again. That we will not.
They're not even. Oh, the tournaments to play them. I was going
to say. They're the prize.
Oops.
Is getting some poor team's booty blown out by corruption.
No, Danger Zone's going to crush him. It's fine.
No.
Yeah.
I still hope it all is Danger Zone.
Do you think either of them can take Dan Merle?
They've done it before.
Oh, yeah.
Corruption's beaten Founding Fathers.
Yeah, but they had Roka. That doesn't count.
Oh, shade thrown at the Outlaw. No, I absolutely think.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Quite frankly,
I didn't just completely forget that they played before.
Okay. Hot take. I think Corruption is in more danger from Rushmore than Danger Zone.
No.
I think Danger's I think in a rock, paper, scissors, Danger Zone will probably beat Rushmore. But I think Rushmore, I
don't believe in rocks or scissors. And
just making that paper.
What I have on paper here in my hand is that Danger Zone's going to win the tournament and then beat Corruption. And then lose to Shazam, which is fine. Because I love my faction. But I love Shazam too. But yeah, I was impressed. Roka showed up. Good stuff. And then I didn't watch the other match for a week.
Same. Just didn't get around to it. Do you? What? I mean, obviously, we both have our biases. I'm a Corruption guy. You're a Dungeon guy. What faction do you feel like? And we're going to obviously get into Bateman versus Riley in a second here, but just as a little bit more pertinent with the Finstock exchange in this early season, how are you feeling about the factions right now? Because the exchange and the suspects are owning shit.
They're also playing the most right now. I think we're seeing a lot of what happened at the beginning of last season, but it feels a lot more balanced, right? That the factions that aren't playing right now are either lined up to try for the belt or are holding the belt. And, granted, the Stars are now worse off because in my head, I assumed that they were going to get 7 points easy off the belt last week, 2 weeks ago. And that didn't happen. And now they have to recalculate, right? Same with, I thought the Mercs were pretty much not relying on Shazam, but Shazams were going to be their big point getters.
I think they're looking at Shazam the way that Corruption was looking at Kalinowski and Laura Kelly and Chance during tournament season.
Yeah.
Where it was that, we have faith in our other players who are playing elsewhere, but, we know you are capable of and most likely will be bringing home hella bacon.
Yeah, and I think, there haven't been a dungeon magic. Wow. There haven't been a ton of dungeon matches, but they've been doing well and they won a belt to start the season. I think that either Merle or Bateman, Merle plays this week, which is crazy to think about, but Merle plays this Friday for the belt again. And I will not be disappointed no matter who wins. I'm sure we'll get another fantastic match. But
I will be. I don't like rooting against Dan Merle, but I'm rooting against Dan Merle.
I think if I'm rooting for one of them, it's Dan. But I won't be upset if Collins defends because I like Collins a lot.
Yeah.
I think that I think the Dungeon's poised to win a lot of belts at some point this season just because they have Bateman and Merle, and they already have Mara winning the Intergeekdom belt, and they have Parker who could make his way up to the belt. I can't think of any faction that is undercut right now. Even the Den, I say even the Den, but the Den is doing good.
Yeah, the Den is performing much better than they did last season, and no shade or shit talk towards Kate Mulligan at all. But the character didn't quite work for me last season.
Yeah,
I wasn't super into the kayfabe of the Den, and I hate to admit it, I'm sold more on players and their kayfabe more than I am their trivia. I will openly admit that.
I think also definitely that the way that faction was going to play, how they were going to interact with each other, fell completely apart when they went digital.
I don't think you're wrong.
Like Mulligan's whole thing of like having a fanny pack with snacks and like feeding people shit. Like that would have been hilarious and great if they had still been in person the whole season.
Imagine her at a live event, just throwing friggin' crackers into the audience and shit.
I would.
So yeah, without that, like everything kind of fell apart. But now they're doing great. So it's fine.
I get excited to see Kate Mulligan. I get excited to see the Den. I am enjoying every faction more this season.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it just feels more balanced.
Yeah, I like even the dungeon kind of softened up a little bit.
Why is Kaiser being such a dad? And I love it so much.
I know.
I think because like he must have. I'm telling you, he babysat for Kevin once and was like, "Oh, this is," or he has kids. I don't like. Who knows? But
and just Kaiser's just like one psychotic raccoon, and he has his dumpster babies in the dungeon.
But like he babysat for Kevin Smets once and is like, "Oh, this is fucking rad. I want to be a dad." And now he's being a dad to everyone in the dungeon. It's great. Yeah, like everyone's just. I think they're more comfortable with how things need to work over, the interwebs now.
Yeah.
So,
moving along. Is it just me? Or did Ben Bateman versus Mark Yodi Riley go by really fast? Because, like, I was listening to, what was it? What night was it? I had to do something. Oh, that's it. It was the night we lost power here. So I had to go out to my Nana's because I was trying to do my notes for Executor Cedrus versus the Grand Inquisitor. Go check out the Patreon, $5 here. I had to write my notes for that, and once I got to the point where I could just like put something on in the background while I tidied it up, I was listening to the match, and by the time I was done like looking on the website, like looking at analytics, looking at TeePublic, shit like that, the match was over. Like the match, I don't know how to say it. It just went by like that, and
there wasn't. There wasn't any. I mean, granted, it's what we watched was the edited version from what aired live. They did a very good job of cutting together whatever they had to cut together because I did not notice anything. Like I knew what happened in the last round because again I saw comments.
I still don't understand what the hell happened.
So
I'm still confused.
When they tied in the third round, they asked the wrong person their question first.
Okay.
They were supposed to ask Bateman his 3, and they asked Yodi his 5.
Oh,
and it screwed, and he missed it, and it screwed up. I don't remember. They asked him his 5 first, and then which isn't how they're supposed to do it. So
okay, I was so confused. I did not understand a word you were saying the other night when you were trying to explain it to me.
Yeah, I couldn't because I was trying so hard to say they asked Bateman his 3.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or they asked Yodi his 5 first. But yeah, they did
technically who won. Yeah, that makes sense.
They did a good job of covering it up. I think Christian, we need to have a talk. Christian, look at me. Look at me in my eyes. You and I both know there's no delay on that timer. We both know.
First of all, Mr. Harloff, we are both very big fans. We love your work. Thank you for creating this sport. We love you very dearly.
Look, I forget about the timer 9 times out of 10. We both know there's no delay on that timer. You just forgot a couple of times. It's okay. But we both know. We both know what you did. Okay?
Much better.
Because they almost challenged it. I was like skipping through the match before I came here tonight. But I saw Bateman and Kaiser almost challenge it because Riley needed a clarification for the Henry Cavill question in round 2.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's fair, though, for him to just be like, we're pausing the timer for a moment.
But he didn't say that, and then just like the timer hit 0, and Christian clearly had forgotten to start counting down.
Why is there a random extension cord
Well,
plugged into nothing?
Usually it's plugged in over there, and that's what this is plugged into, but I didn't feel like plugging it in.
But I found that neat Gigunda wall plug. Careful, careful, careful. Poster's going to fall.
I hope they heard all of its movements.
I do too.
But yeah, like it hit 0, a couple seconds went by, and then he started the countdown. And
I
then
want this.
Here, I'll just.
I wasn't trying to hit it. Oh, okay. Well. Anyway.
So Bateman was on fucking fire. Also,
and he knew it. He knew it too. The couple of times that he like baited, not knowing the question.
The flex of Tyler Perry.
Yeah,
That was when I saw it was on the wheel, I was like, he's taking it. Also, everybody spun Spinner's choice. This is Houston all over again, including the fact that Bateman's there. Hi, Lexi. It was
It came out of the thing.
I know.
Oh no.
Here. Oh,
Pardon me, folks. Just keep talking.
Okay, but anyway, I was really impressed with Bateman.
I mean, he plays like he always does.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing for a belt, so he didn't flub all of round 3.
Oh, that was.
I was rooting for him. It's fine.
I know. I got him. I am truly convinced that Marchiotti Riley just needs a really good kick in the pants. Like, be it from himself or somebody else. Like, I want 100%. Like the promo with Clark Wolf. If Yodi is still playing just as he has fun with it, I'm glad he is. Because I love Mark Riley. I love seeing him play. I love the mentality of, like, I'm here to have fun with it. But, like, I am convinced that, like, he could return to his zenith very easily with, like, the right kick in the pants. I really do think that. I really do think we could see, like, the proper Marchiotti Riley come back. He also, that Superman round was impressive. I enjoyed every second of that. That was some damn good trivia. And I would have been freaking out too with the Justice League technicality of are we counting Justice League and the Snyder Cut, or is all of Justice League one turn as Superman? Yeah, really, really good stuff with that live event. I really enjoyed it. Roka was interview bombing, and you love to see it. You love to see the Goat Law being a Chaos Goblin. Anyway,
Chaos Goblin.
Moving forward,
I want you to tweet right now, like at him, and then put "You're a Chaos Goblin" and see what he says.
Can I put any context around it?
No.
Can I be like, you're a Chaos Goblin and we love you for it?
No, just "You're a Chaos Goblin."
I don't want to get blocked by Roka. I don't want him to think it's an insult.
I mean, you don't have to do it.
I'm not going to, because I don't want him to think I'm being mean. Anyway, moving into our first actual match of the week, we got Paige Fabretti and Peggy Gubbins of the Usual Suspects and The Den, respectively. Peggy PG Gubbins came out on top. Travis, you said you skipped pretty much all the promos for this week, and
I tried to watch some of the opening closing ones, but I did miss some because I was trying to save time, and I skipped the Nerd Chronic because if I'm listening to the match, the Nerd Chronic stuff just doesn't hit right, so I just skip over it.
I told you those things are evil.
So frustrating.
Do you understand how I destroyed the other two now?
That's what I'm trying not to do, because I keep getting it halfway in and then it comes out and then how come when you touched it nothing happened, but when I touched it it happened, or you kickstarted it? Whenever you were like fiddling around, you were like roughly moving it around over here. And then as soon as I
It's okay.
freaking touch it, then it just falls the fuck apart. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm trying to right my wrongs, but I don't want to wrong my rights.
Give it a left. See what happens.
I don't. Okay.
Without that poster there, the shot looks really off.
Well, too bad.
It looks really lopsided.
I'm
not saying that you did anything. I'm just saying I'm just now noticing how much, like...
Everything seems to have shifted behind you for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
We'll have to fix that at some point. But anyway, really good match. This is a real nail-biter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Nerd Chronic, you're an amazing editor. You're amazing at setting the stage. You kind of made it really hard to root for Paige Fabretti. Knowing Peggy Gubbins' story going in, it was really difficult to not want her to win at that point. But I'm glad the match turned out the way it did because it was great to see. I look forward to seeing Paige Fabretti play again.
Mm-hmm.
She was entertaining to watch.
Kind of hard to listen to. And I don't mean that into like she was annoying. I mean, it was hard to understand her sometimes.
Yeah. In the digital age, everybody gets over it. Saul went from talking into a potato last season, basically.
You know that it opens up?
Yes.
Like, real far?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still hard to get it in, though.
That's what she said.
Ah, ha, ha, ha.
I know.
Funny joke. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to seeing both of them come back. I do agree with Mr. Baby Carrots that I do think we may have seen the birth of a new rivalry between Fabretti and Gubbins. And I look forward to seeing how it develops.
They tend to do that with rookies if they play each other in their opening match.
Oh, but they just like from the jump were just already jawing at each other, and I was like, "This is the shit I like to see." Anyway, moving on to our other match this week.
She spun Star Wars.
My favorite match of the week, even more so the final exam in Shazam.
Shazam.
For a hot second, I thought I misspelled Shazam in the notes.
You're really funny.
I thought from a distance thought I spelled it SHAAAAM. I just put Sham.
Sham.
Anyway, we had Alex Damon of the Stars going toe-to-toe with the Finstock Exchange's Barbarian. Barbarian. This is a really good match. And again, you skip the promos, but Mr. Damon, if you're watching or listening, sir, first of all, thank you for being the best Star Wars YouTuber. Second of all, please go deeper with this heel turn. Keep it going. And when you get the belt back, keep the crazy version of the demon. Like, this shit, you need to go back and just watch the Nerd Chronic promo.
Okay.
It's so good. The way he's playing this character where he's like, yeah, I'm fine. And he's just, bugging out. He has like, Harlov makes a comment about like it being weird seeing David without a belt anymore, and he reaches over across his desk. You see on that part, he goes, "I do have a belt," and he just held up like a normal leather belt with like a Rebel pilot action figure glued to it. Whatever. I love unhinged Alex Damon, and I need more of it. I need that to remain like the thing for him. I love this idea that like he's finally been shaken as a competitor, and now he's going a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Aside from that, I said this to you on our way over earlier. This might have been the best like watching along I've done with the new IG.
I think it was for me too. Definitely.
Woo! Good job. Looks great.
Once again, doing okay on the Spider-Man category.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I hit all of Barbarian's round 3 questions. which is really funny because I have not watched X-Men Apocalypse.
No, like I said, it was Oscar Isaac, so you just knew.
Yeah, I just because it's me because I played Apocalypse.
And Moon Knight.
And I've been training for Moon Knight.
Travis has hands now all of a sudden.
I have many hands, 3 arms spread out of me at once.
General Kenobi.
General Kenobi.
Speaking of General Kenobi,
He did the thing. I love that his he wanted to spin away from it.
he wanted some shit like Swashbuckler or Dystopian Future, or you could tell he wanted one of like the new categories that he'd have to work for.
Yeah.
Because he did amazing in round 1. Like, I was really impressed with his round 1 performance because like I listened to Schmidt on Backstage this week, and like I was 100% in agreement with Barbarian when he said he was, Damon had to put all of his eggs in the Star Wars basket to adequately prepare for Demolanta. And you got to figure, like, how much time did he have to, like, go back and start watching Transformers movies, go back and get, like, get straight with Terminator and, the X-Men movies, we watch Batman shit. Like, how much time does Damon actually have outside of Star Wars? He proved he had time. And came through and really, really performed in round 1. I loved it. It makes me happy seeing Alex be a multi-division player, like really being one. Also, the pre-promo, not like the beginning cutscene. I know that everybody calls them cutscenes. I don't like using that term. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But like the beginning cutscene where there was like the beginning of like the unhinged Alex Damon stuff because it was
a call between him and Barbarian, and you said KO shows up.
Yeah, so it was him and it was Alex Damon and Barbarian's like stroking Elvis, right? And then he's speaking in like the first person plural. It's like, well, we think, and then Alex Damon like slowly holds up like the Sideshow Collectibles screen accurate Grogu statue. He's like, well, we think. And he's like, like you can see the fucking crazy starting in Alex Damon's head. And then KO bombs the call and he's like, hey, champ. He's like, I've been there before. He's like, I've lost belts before. I get it. And just basically tells both of them it doesn't matter which one of you win. You're both going to be losers no matter what. Type shit, Mike Kalinowski doing Mike Kalinowski shit, and I can't wait to see you rip some ass. Rip some ass.
Yeah,
So that means farting.
You played yourself.
Rip some ass, dude.
You played yourself. We get Kalinowski v. Damon 2. So
yeah, that confirmed now from this match. But yeah, finally stopped the Finstock Exchange's rampage as well.
I wouldn't even call it a rampage. Like they had a couple of wins. It
was like their entire
everyone, but I mean they've played 4 matches and won 3 of them. Right? Because Lomas lost and everyone else won.
Yeah, Lomas lost. Gold Leader won.
Rick Radis
won.
And then Roca.
Yeah,
that's it.
Roca. I mean, yeah, but still, like that's a lot of points to put up early in the fact that almost all of them are rookies.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Is it like?
I mean, that's just by
Gucci,
the numbers. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but again, like Gucci really proved that his gambit with like drafting, save for his top, like his free agency with like Roca, JTE, and the Barbarian. Like he proved that it was not like a foolhardy thing, and the Barbarian was talking on backstage about how the Barbarian was really the talent scout here. And that's kind of one of my favorite things about Tom Dagnino as a manager is that he is really good at picking people to do his job.
Mm-hmm.
He's a mastermind of knowing like who to play and when to like let them do what they're good at. And I really respect that about him. I like the way that he really is a manager. He's very good at kind of going, okay, Roca, you're going to be the leader. Barbarian, you're going to help train people. Barbarian, you're also going to be our talent scout. And divvying up those responsibilities. Barbarian's training people. That's what he said. He said it himself on backstage. He's the one who was doing all the rookie hunting.
And I mean, they talked about that even last season. The Barbarian was a lot of the training.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I guess that means the only thing he's lacking in is being able to manage during a match. Because he's just bad at calling challenges. That's the word.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, though. Like, I will say I won't be too terribly surprised if eventually the Barbarian becomes the manager of his own faction. I would not be surprised if through some amount of, like, plotline stuff, he maybe leaves Finstock behind.
I could see it.
It's.
I think
Finstock is an easy character to be like, you betrayed me. I'm taking my ball and going home.
Yeah, I also feel like Barbarian's another one of those. He wants to be a player too much to be a manager right now.
That's fair.
Kind of deal. But yeah, I thought Desmond would stand up, but he didn't stand up.
Moral of the story is more crazy Damon. It could be my favorite character of the year. But moving on to our last match.
Shazam!
Travis is happy.
I'm very happy.
I'm happy.
Dude, they killed it. I didn't want to say anything because we went into round 3. And I was like, okay, yeah, they're doing great. The only way they lose now is if they just completely fuck up round 3. Like, if they just answer everything wrong. And I knew if I said it out loud, that's what would happen. And it didn't. Because they didn't have to answer a single question.
Yeah, boys took him a TKO.
Yeah,
That's
they
extra
did.
points on the board. It was good trivia, man.
Is it TKO, is it just the -1, or do they also get the +1?
They get a +1 for a TKO. The -1 happens on a KO.
I thought it was the other way around. I think the -1 is both. The +1 is if you get a full KO.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
I think that's dumb.
I think that's what it is. I can't remember.
Either way, it was still an impressive showing from both of them. I will say, though, not to be outdone and not to be forgotten, Primetime Paul Oyama. I mean, he was in control of the match. Like, there was just... Bro is laser focused, and I love watching him just kind of get into his...
He has his focus from his dungeon days back with his, like, demeanor of, like, having fun with the game. Like, he's on top again. I wouldn't be surprised if we at least see him compete for a belt at some point this season.
I agree with you.
Not for a belt, but for, like, the singles belt specifically.
I agree with you 100%. I'm looking forward to see, assuming he's in the free-for-all, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does in free-for-all.
Yeah, he could definitely be an all-star in the free-for-all as well. But yeah, I mean, definitely if Lon was having a better day, it would have been a much tighter match. And, that happens.
Yeah.
Right? Because they missed one in round 2, and they both missed it because they answered very quickly.
And that's another one of those things. Like Lon Harris, he's a proven player. He just got shit questions that he just wasn't ready for. You could tell. There's certain players that you can just tell when it's like a...
Like, I just didn't have it today.
Yeah.
Like, that happens. Meanwhile, Kid and Bibbs are ready for their belt back. They're ready.
I get through corruption first.
No, they don't. That was the number 1 contender match.
Oh, son of a bitch, you're right. Show's over.
Yeah, that's it. They get to play Odd Couple again, and I feel like they only missed collectively 2 questions that whole match. They both missed different questions in round 1.
Yeah, you're right.
Granted, they spun horror for round 2, which is
the same thing as Alex Damon spinning Star Wars in round 2 in the other match.
I think the only way they could have been better is if they spun Oscars because they're both good at Oscars.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're ready. I think they have a very good chance. I think they're more equipped to handle the format, and they're more prepared to. I think they're better challenging than they are defending, right?
I think you're right. I see what you mean by that. I'm inclined to agree with you.
That like I think they're more in it when they're trying to get the belt.
Yeah.
And I hope that I don't mean this maliciously, but like part of me thinks that Snyder's going to be a little rattled after his loss to Merle, and that might transfer over to like it'll take.
He might not still be on his A game,
like
at the end of 2020.
He misses a question early on, and he pulls. He does what Lon did tonight, and just isn't there that day.
Yeah. Well, I will say that, and you're right. I had it right in front of me, too. I don't know how I bungled that. A couple was playing Shazam at the end of the month.
The only reason I remember is because they're not playing in the tournament.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Neither is Final Exam.
This will be interesting. I'm very much looking forward to Odd Couple v Shazam. Too, yeah. It's going to be good. It's William Bibiani and Brendan Meyer. It's one of those, it's kind of a given that they're going to clean up shop. Same thing with Final Exam and Prime Time and Lon. It's just, it was a bad day for Lon. Shit happens like that sometimes. Before we wrap up, my friend, Bradley Tingle versus Ty Lieberman.
I don't know either of these people, but
they're both rookies.
I'm going to go with Bradley because it's not Finstock.
I'm going to go with Ty because Finstock has been doing well with the rookies this year. Mark Hoyk v. Griffin Newman.
Are these also new rookies?
No, Hoyk is a vet, and I'm not sure about Griffin Newman.
Yeah, he's Finstock, so he almost has to be a rookie.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm going to go... God. I guess Mark, because I'm neutral on corruption.
I'm going to say Mark Hoyk because I'm far from neutral on corruption. Eric Whiteley versus Johnny Hui in Star Wars.
I guess Johnny, his dungeon.
There you go. And then our live event next week, Stacy Howard of The Usual Suspects against Kevin Smith of the Quirky Mercs. I'm so excited to see Kevin Smith play again.
I'm going to say Kevin Smith.
I also want Kevin Smith to win because it's Kevin Smith. And then Adam the Coyote fuck.
Wow.
Adam the Coyote Kyans versus Dangerous Dane Merle.
Shut the fuck up, dickhead. Let's try this again. Adam the Coyote Collins, the reigning singles champion, going toe-to-toe against Dangerous Dan Merle of Swag.
Why would you do that?
How did I do that?
How dare you?
What? I think I did that last week, and we just didn't call attention to the fact that because we did a Darrell joke.
Yeah.
And then I forgot to change it because of that. Oh, my God.
I guess I'm going to root for Dan, but this is a solid 50-50. As much as I want to say Dan's got it, Collins is right there, and singles is because they're both older singles players, I have a hard time believing they're going to go out of their way to put new categories in, onto the.
I wouldn't call Adam Collins an older player. This is only his sophomore season.
True, but he, when you go in your rookie season, you play 7 matches back to back like that. You are
fair. Yeah, 100%. I feel you.
Yeah, and so they're not going to go out of their way to put on newer categories. They're not going to go out of their way to put intergeekdom categories on unless they're really confident. So unless one of them gets something that really trips them up, I see another neck and neck match into sudden death.
I think you're right. I would not be surprised at all if we go into SD with this one. Obviously, I'm pulling for Adam Collins. I really, really do hope Corruption shows up this week. Last week we had multiple Corruption matches. Both of them came away with L's, and I really do not want to see that happen anymore. So,
yeah, if Collins defends, he defended against Dan Merle, which I don't think has ever been done before.
I think you're right. I can't think off the top of my head of any time someone's defended against Merle.
He will still have an undefeated record. He will, there's just so many things of Collins just like laying it on the table if he beats Dan next week.
I think at that point, I think Adam Collins permanently dispels any implied flash in the pan arguments.
Oh yeah. Not that I don't think
that he was
made already.
I don't think he's lightning in a bottle either. I think he's just
that good.
He's just king shit.
But if he beats Dan again next week,
with all of the implications you just said that come with that,
it's going to be insane. Who would have thunk we could have had an Alex Damon in the singles division?
Yeah, honestly. With that nice little KO next to their name. With that, I think that's all we have for you guys this week.
Because now those other two matches are locked in, right?
Now we know for sure.
The team's belt match at the end of the month is definitely Odd Couple and Shazam, which Shazam.
Yeah.
Shazam.
And now it's Damon v. KO.
Yeah, which we haven't seen Kalinowski play in Intergeekdom yet.
I think he's going to show up, though.
Probably. Unless, last time Alex did bad because of a bad wheel spin. So, Yeah, we also have a whole week of matches between then and the free-for-all, which... I don't believe in free things, so doesn't happen.
I know where you fall politically. We both believe in free things. We're big fans of free things. Anyway, we also need to discuss how we're going to cover the free for all, but we'll do that off camera. Anyway,
we got a week to figure. We got 2 weeks to figure that out.
Yeah,
we don't have to worry about it till the day of.
Yeah, we'll wait. We'll get the notification that it's streaming. It's like, hey, how you want to do the free for all this week? Lexi?
Yes.
Where can the lovely people find you and Desmond?
Twitter at LexiLion98 and Instagram at Acapella98. And fixing the poster.
Yes, fixing the poster in this episode.
And tweeting about how I have a 45-minute presentation to give on Tuesday.
And as I said on Twitter, you're going to make this presentation your bitch.
Thank you. Probably not, but I'll get it done. It'll be okay.
I have nothing but aggressively optimistic faith in you.
Regardless if it hits 45 minutes, it'll be done. So.
Just pull a Zack Snyder, and whenever you're running out of things to say, just start chanting.
Or speak in slow motion.
I was gonna say I could just start moving
in slow. Yeah, 10% of your 10%.
I could do a filter that makes it black and white.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
Call your professor a fish stick and comment on a reach around at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway. Speaking of that, did you guys see that there's an extended version of the Batman Joker scene now?
Yeah, you sent it to me this morning. I am happy
that it has the "We Live in a Society" line in it.
I'm happy that it is not as cringy as the line on its own sounds.
Yeah,
because he's talking specifically.
It's right after.
Just put it in there.
Because I don't know.
Why are there so many cuts of Snide?
Because it's good. I think it's an improvement on the scene. Because it's a little extra bit of dialogue because it's right after and when I kill you and don't get make no mistake, I will fucking kill you line. He's like, I intend to honor that promise. And then that gets the line from the trailer where Joker goes, "Oh, Batman." He's like, "We live in a society where honor is but a distant memory. Isn't that right, Batman?" And then he takes the card.
Oh, well.
And it's one added line of dialogue.
Why did they not just put it in? I hate that. Okay.
It's anyway. It makes the scene stronger.
I just don't like how there's different versions of this thing that was already a different version, and then there's a different version, and a different version, and a different cut. It's just stop. Anyway, Who's next?
Travis, where can the lovely people find you?
They can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Travis Political.
And
And on Twitch at Black Leader 439, where we're playing Assassin's Creed 2. Because I'm back on my shit.
Antifa Creed.
Jarod.
Yes.
Where?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552. And you can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon page. Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus, Case and Brion, the Waffle Wizard, Delta 9, and Zach Canals. I had that moment where I just forgot to keep speaking again. Like Chuck a Cup, where I kind of
Words stopped existing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Desmond, the small burnt toast. Desmond, thanks you all very, very much for supporting us. Be sure to check out the $5 tier. You get access to the Knights of the Nerd Republic versus. He's so goddamn cute. You get access to the Knights of the Nerd Republic versus series. April's matchup was Executor Cedrus versus the Grand Inquisitor. For our audio listeners, Lexi's doing the squish part of the Squishmallow. We did Executor Cedrus versus the Grand Inquisitor. For May, we're going to be doing Galen Merrick versus Mara Jade. Tune in for those. We also have the Assembly of the Justice League and the New 52 coming out at some point soon in Heroic History. And we have our Nerd Academy Movie Club audio commentaries. Tune in the coming week for our episode of...
It just looks funny that I'm taking things off.
Yeah.
Okay, Pepper.
She's just going to rip the laptop out. For April, we're doing movies that are so bad they're good. We're going to be covering The Room first, then Battlefield Earth, then the Mike Myers Cat in the Hat. So stay tuned for
Oh no! Why? Why?
So stay tuned for all of that. Audio commentaries are on the $5 tier. So you'll get to hear me actually watch the entirety of The Room for the first time on the audio commentary.
Participate in that.
The Room?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I want to participate.
We'll probably be doing that probably some point this week. So
Oh, then never mind.
you Cat in the Hat.
We'll see.
Okay.
It's about to be finals, so.
Fair. So yeah, that's the stuff. Check out our TeePublic, the student store link on our website to get all manner of Nerd Academy merch goodies. Like, comment, subscribe. That part still feels weird to say. I can't find my cursor. There it is. Anyway, thank you all so very much for listening. Desmond is a badass, and
He's our mascot.
he is our mascot, and